I hope people watch these and are not discouraged to own a boat, but encouraged because they see now the possibilities for fun in a safe way.
Welcome to the Woman Angler and Adventurer podcast, inspiring real women with a passion for fishing and the outdoors to go get their adventure on. Now, here's your fearless host, Angie Scott.
Welcome to this week's episode of the Woman Angler and Adventurer podcast. Can you believe it? It seems like we just got home from Ray Hubbard, and here we are pre-fishing for the Lake Hickory tournament later this week. So far, things are going way better than Ray Hubbard. Seems like we got all the boat issues worked out. Needed to make a last-minute adjustment with some circuit breakers controlling the Garmin units. Big thanks to Mark Sheriff at the Boat Locker dealership in Nashville to take some time out of his busy schedule late Friday afternoon to make that adjustment before we got on the road Saturday to Hickory, North Carolina. The issue was discovered after I did an electronics course with one of our local guides to fine-tune my live scope settings and learn a little bit more about how all that works. It was so much fun, and now I'm finally able to see my bait on the Garmin unit, and it's a blast to watch it and see how fish react. I can't wait to get more and more familiar with running the live scope. So as I mentioned last week, this week's episode might be a bit shorter than usual with everything going on, but it's a good one, and I really wanted to share with you all about a new initiative Yamaha is doing called the Yamaha Boating Academy, which is a program that helps dealers assist customers learn some boating basics and be as safe as possible out on the water as new boat owners. They're accomplishing this through a YouTube video series, and who better to host the series than YouTuber Tyler Anderson? You've probably come across some of Tyler's great fishing videos on his YouTube channel, TylersReelFishing. If you haven't, you definitely need to go check them out. He has some really amazing educational fishing content that's both informative and entertaining. I'll put a link to his YouTube channel in the show notes for this episode, which you can find at thewomanangler.com/182. All right, sit back and enjoy this conversation with Tyler Anderson from Tyler's Reel Fishing. I appreciate you taking some time to chat so I can feature the Yamaha Boating Academy on the Woman Angler and Adventurer podcast.
Awesome.
So, yeah, well, we'll just jump into it. I think I met you. Well, I didn't actually meet you. We were both at the Bassmaster Classic in Birmingham. I believe you did a little presentation at the Yamaha booth. And so I don't think we actually met, but I did watch part of your presentation, and I've seen your YouTube videos, and I'm always just impressed by your work. So
thank you.
Yeah, good job. So I think the first YouTube video I saw of yours was the one where you did the Texas Bass Challenge with some other YouTubers. So that was a super fun video.
That was one of the first YouTube collaborations. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, good way to grow the channel too, I'm sure, by featuring other YouTubers. So
yes.
Good deal. Well, so I wanted to talk about the Yamaha Boating Academy program. And one reason, Melissa from Yamaha reached out and kind of connected us and told me about the program. And so I don't know if you know much about me, but I work for Freedom Boat Club here in the Middle Tennessee area. And how I got on board with Freedom Boat Club was starting off as a training captain. So when members join the club, they have to go through a certain amount of boating education, before they can start making reservations. And so when Melissa told me about this new Yamaha Boating Academy program, I thought that that's such an awesome idea. I'm also a member of the Sober Skipper Advisory Council with the CETO Foundation. And so promoting boating safety is a big initiative for them as well. And, one of the things, they have the National Safe Boating Awards every year. And one thing we found is that a lot of dealers kind of shy away from touching on boating safety, which is really unfortunate, but I guess the idea is they don't want to scare buyers away from buying a boat, by, but boating is inherently not a safe activity. And so promoting safety is such an important thing. So,
Exactly.
how did you get involved? First of all, let's just go back. How did you get involved with Yamaha and then the new boating academy?
Mm-hmm. So I have been, bass fishing from a boat for a long time. Basically, ever since I started bass fishing when I was, fifth or sixth grade, I was in somebody's bass boat. So, I love bank fishing, kayak, but, being in a boat has always been my thing. And my family grew up around boats. We had wakeboard boats and jet skis and sailboats, just like any kind of boat. We were a water family. So I've grown up around tons of boats. And I've been driving boats since I was, probably too young to legally drive boats. And, just really familiar with them. And so I got to partner with Skeeter to be on their, we're not exactly what to call it because I'm not a pro angler, but I'm also not a dealer. So I kind of fit in this social influencer, demographic that they're working with. And I'm one of the only guys that Skeeter works with, on a boating side. And so of course, Yamaha and Skeeter are synonymous. And, so that's kind of where my connection with Yamaha started, but it was really just a deal with Skeeter. I really didn't have much communication with Yamaha until I think Yamaha kind of caught wind of what I was doing with Skeeter. They saw my face and my voice and how I was able to, portray information in a cohesive and, easy to understand way. And so they decided to bring me on board for something they were probably thinking about for a while, but I assume they were waiting on the right person and personality to implement this. And so we made, I think 7 or 9 videos last year that are part of the academy. And they just basically said, we want you to be you. We don't want to give you a script. And besides, of course, a few, key things to make sure people understand about boating. But they said, we don't want you to sound corporate. We want this to be Tyler's personality and his voice, in the best teaching way that I can. And so they gave me a lot of freedom throughout this, for these episodes. And it just allowed me to not worry so much about saying specific lines. But as long as I, teach people how to be safe on the water, I feel like I can do that better when I'm unstructured, rather than if I have to, repeat corporate lines. And so that was definitely awesome that they were able to give me that kind of freedom. And I think the videos turned out awesome. And I hope people watch these and are not discouraged to own a boat, but encouraged because they see now the possibilities for fun in a safe way.
Right. Yeah. I wish, and I hope, with programs like this that more dealers, promote the safety aspect of it in a positive way, because it's a good thing for people buying a boat to know how to operate it safely. And, I don't know about you, but in our area last year with more people getting out on the water than normal and more people that maybe didn't have experience with boating getting out on the water for the first time. We did have a lot of boating accidents and drownings this past year, more than we had seen in the past. And so I don't know if that was kind of the same thing, if you observed that in your area of the country. You're in Austin, correct?
Well, from Austin. I live in Waco currently.
Oh, you live in Waco. Okay.
But, I guess I don't keep up to date with that many, accidents on the water, but I did see a lot more boats. So you can guess that, per the percentages, there's going to be more accidents as well. Right.
So that's just all that to say. I think this is more important than ever that, dealers take that kind of interest and care for their customers when they're purchasing a boat to make sure that, they're going to be as safe as possible out there. Do you know how Yamaha is, I know these are up on YouTube. How are the dealers communicating that to their buyers? Do you know?
I do not know. That's a Yamaha question.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Well, I can imagine if dealers are taking it seriously. I know they don't have the time or resources to put into a series like this. So, I assume this would be a no-brainer for them to want to send, in some form, digital form, to people to buy new boats with them. Because of course, if they want safety and they don't want to put any work into it, I mean, it's here for them from Yamaha, which is great.
Yeah. And I plan on watching all these videos. I've watched a couple of them so far, and it's really great information. So some of the topics covered, captaining 101, which is just the driving basics. And then you cover docking, getting up to speed, boating terminology, which is always important to be aware of. Driving a vehicle with a trailer, also very important information. Some pre and post check stuff, boat ramp launching and landing, boating etiquette, always very good to know some basic boating etiquette. And then maritime knots, which I did watch that one. Knots are always I always have a difficult time with knots. I do know the cleat hitch, and you did a really good job of showing that, and I'm looking forward to learning the other knots that you featured in that video, and then boat cleaning as well. So all things that go into boat ownership that people need to, at least have the basic understanding of when you're purchasing a boat. So
totally, yep.
So great program. Thank you for putting all this together for Yamaha, and I know it's going to help a lot of people out there. So just a quick catch up on you, so people can follow you on YouTube at TylersReelFishing, and then you're also on Instagram. Do you have anything coming up you want to talk about?
Well, I mean, I've been full time now on YouTube. I mean, I've been doing it for 8 years, but now full time going on 2 years, and really have a good catalog of content starting to build up on instructional bass fishing. So if people want to learn how to catch their first bass, or if you want to learn really intricate, technical things about, certain bass movements and behaviors, I love just teaching on my channel. And I try to say this with all humility. I think I do it the best out there. With of course it being entertaining and tons of fish catches and music. I really think it's a good package. So if people want to catch bass and catch more of them, I think my channel is a good one for them to follow along with.
Yeah, and you fished on the A&M college fishing team as well, so definitely you have a lot of experience in the bass fishing world. And I've been looking at some of your videos this morning here, and I came across the one on how you practice fish for a tournament, and so I'm excited to take some notes from that video as I'm delving into the tournament fishing this year with the Lady Bass Anglers Association. So
very cool.
Yeah, so thank you for that resource, and I encourage anybody listening to check out your channel and follow you or subscribe. Some really good content, and you're super talented, and your videos are very professional, and so kudos to you on doing such a great job on all that.
Well, thank you so much.
All right. Well, thank you so much for taking a little bit of time today to talk about this new academy. And I look forward to following you, and hopefully our paths will cross at some point again in the future.
I'm sure they will.
All right. Thanks for listening, everyone. And stay tuned for the results and a recap of the Lake Hickory tournament in Hickory, North Carolina, and so much more to come. Stay safe, everyone, and tight lines.